Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and I'm going to be doing a full face of products under $10. This was a little hard because drugstore prices are creeping up there, but I think I got a good variety of brands. So I'm going to apply all the products and talk about them a little bit as I go. I have tried most of these one time, so I don't have super strong opinions about any of them yet, but I will let you know what I think while I talk about it. If you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, beauty, vlogs, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or something on this channel for everyone. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Zoomed you in, so do eyes and brows first. So some of these products I already have. So this is nothing new. It's the Milani eyeshadow primer. I think this is a really good eyeshadow primer. It's the one that I use, and I have repurchased this already. Just waiting to use this tube up. It's pretty well loved here. And then this is my beloved ColourPop brow gel. It used to be called the Brow Boss gel. It's called the Brow Gel in light brown. I have a pencil, but I don't know if it's under $10. It probably is. It's the NYX pencil, like skinny brow pencil. You can find a couple of brow pencils for under $10. It's a pretty common product to be under $10. I would say the ColourPop one is probably still my favorite, and that one is like $7. I do have to say though, buying a full face of products, even when it's under $10, is still gonna run you like $100. I know, because I experienced it. Unless you buy this particular brand exclusively, you're going to be spending about $100. So this is Essence Nothing But Nude eyeshadow palette. I used this. You already have fingerprints on the mirror. I used this yesterday. I just used this shade and this shade. So I'm going to try to do an eye look that's a little bit using quite a few of these, just because I don't really do eyeshadow anymore. I have a lot of palettes. We've been over this. But I'm going to use that same shade, which they don't have names on it. It's this one. If you don't know about Essence, I feel like you should. They're a pretty good brand. They're really affordable. They are a German brand. Not all their products are amazing, but for the price point, it's pretty good. And I found stuff from Essence that I like more than, you know, you're not going to find brand like L'Oreal in this video because L'Oreal charges an arm and a leg. L'Oreal, Maybelline, NYX is really expensive. I do have one NYX product, but NYX is really expensive. I have a $17 primer from NYX. So, I'm going to use this dark shimmery shade on the outer part of the lid. Make kind of a smoky look. I'm just kind of patting it. Oh, I'm like really hot. I always get this way when I'm doing makeup. I don't know, I'm nervous for you all? I don't think so. The last 2 of 3 times I put on makeup, it's been for the camera, so just know on a daily basis I'm not really wearing makeup, so a little bit of fallout. I'm gonna use the yeah, so one of them is like a gold and one of them is like a champagne. I'm gonna use the gold shade on my finger. Put that on the inner part of the lid. These shadows feel really thin. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, just an observation. And Essence is vegan. I don't know if they're cruelty-free. Oh, they do have shade names. So that was the shade 7 Hours. I don't know if Essence is cruelty-free. I don't know. Typically, most brands I found, unless you're L'Oreal, are unless you sell in China. I have a couple eyeliners that are under the $10 price point. One that's really affordable in a brand you're going to see quite a bit is Wet n Wild. This is their breakup proof liquid liner. This is one of my favorites. My current favorite is the Rare Beauty one. So much more expensive. Alright, so I already know I love this. Yeah. Moving on to base, I will briefly say this is not under $10, but I did get the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I wore it yesterday. I thought it was pretty. I wear a very glowy SPF, so I can't really tell if it was that or this. So the product I am going to use today, I'm going to be able to tell which is the difference. Yeah, so I'm using the Revolution Pore Blur Primer. This isn't the type of primer I usually go for. However, that's why I went with it, because I don't have a pore blurring primer. Oh, that one's very liquidy. It's probably going to be a silicone texture because most pore blurring primers are. Oh, it's tan. That is interesting. It does feel really smooth. Revolution had a few primers that were in this packaging. They had a hydrating one, but again, I wanted something a little bit different. I don't notice it really making a difference with my pores, so that's just initial bet. I have pretty big pores on my nose, but it feels nice, so we'll see how makeup sits on top of it. Then I have the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, which I wanted to try for a while. This is a small tube, so I have a feeling I'm going to run through it pretty quickly, but it's quite nice. I wore this yesterday. It seems like so long ago. Okay, so my fingers are so slippery from that primer. I'm going to apply it with a brush and then blend it out with my sponge when I'm done. So I can tell you right now the Halo Glow definitely makes a difference because my skin was much glowier. This looks about satin leaning, I mean, the light's reflecting off my head, but it looks satin. It almost looks matte to me. Like, I can't imagine a matte foundation because this looks matte to me. This one I already know I love. It's the Elf Hydrating Camo Concealer with a satin finish. I never tried the regular Camo Concealer because hydrating was already around when I tried this. And I don't find it necessary. Okay. I do have a powder, but we're going to go for the bronzer first. I tried this yesterday. I didn't like it, which is disappointing because this is the product I was probably looking the most forward to. It's the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer. So I remember when I tried the original putty bronzer, I had like some trouble with it initially, but we'll see. So I just used this, I don't know, it's a Real Techniques brush. I think it's like called the Expert Face Brush. I just felt like it looked muddy, and this is a very cool tone bronzer. So I'm going to try it, and it's very light. I just feel like it doesn't apply evenly. I don't know, guys. I don't love it. Maybe if I had it in a different tone, because this looks more like a contour. I mean, that side looks fine. I just have to be careful because I want to go like this with my brush, and that's not ideal for this product. Unless you're on the forehead, and then you can do what you want. So, don't love this. We'll see. I wanted to try the Essence Cover and Last, the 16-hour powder foundation. It was out of stock. This is what I could find. They didn't have e.l.f. Camo powder is more than $10. This is what they had, was the LA Girl Pro Face High Definition Pressed Powder in Classic Ivory. Really nervous because it's set on the package. It was set to mattify, and I don't like mattifying products. Seems a little dark for the under eye, like darker than I would like to go. I don't know. I really like my Huda Beauty glowish powder, although there's a Physicians Formula one that seems very similar, so yeah, mattified. Doesn't look bad though. I used to have really dry skin, so that's why I'm scared of like matte stuff. I'm gonna put under cheeks. I didn't buy a loose powder because I don't even want to mess with that. Oh no. We're gonna see how this goes. I have two of the e.l.f. Luminous Putty blushes. I actually really like these. I constantly use this shade, and I think I'm gonna use it today, is the shade Maui. It is like a, I don't know, like a cool tone. Hard to describe. I just put powder on my cheeks. I'm so nervous now. It's sitting fine. It's very glowy. You can see it. You can see the glow compared to the rest of my face, which is really matte. So that's exciting. That I can definitely sense the luminosity more now that my skin is more matte. So that's good. It does its job. And I will blend in with the sponge. Highlight. This has long been awaited for me. It's the Essence Pure Nude highlight. This is very strongly talked of by a lot of YouTubers. It's quite like, it's a nude highlighter. It's not going to be like in your face, but when it catches the light, it's really pretty. I don't use powder-based products too often, but I like this one. I repurchased this because I thought it was discontinued, but it's not. It's the Revolution Hyaluronic Fix Plus. Revolution has pretty good prices for their stuff too, I must say. Some of it is reaching like $12, but most of it is, and their palettes can be more expensive, but most of it is around under $10 or around the $10 price. Woo! Good sprayer, I like it. I have 3 setting sprays. One of them is discontinued. One of them is Milani, which is not under, Milani's a really expensive brand too. Not under the $10 price. Now, NYX lip products are under $10, which is good because over $10 for a lip product is kind of insane for a drugstore. I forgot about mascara. I have to do mascara first. I have 2 that are under 10. My favorite is this Essence Lash Princess Curl in Volume. I'm going to use that one today. I needed to get a new eyelash curler and I forgot. I like a lot of other drugstore mascaras, but other than Essence, most of them are over the $10 price range. So I like the Lash, what is it? Sky High Lash Sensational for Maybelline. I like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I liked Revlon So Fierce. I think that one might be under 10. But Essence is like $5 or under. I think their mascaras are all $4.99. And then lip liner, these aren't sold at Ulta anymore, and it's making me sad, but you can still get them on the ColourPop website. It's the Lippy Pencil. This is in BFF2. I'm going to use this. Needs a sharpen. Okay, I'm going to keep that out because I need to sharpen that. And then this is the NYX Milky. This is Milky Gloss. It has a milkshake flavor, not scent. It says milkshake flavor. So in case you wanted to eat this, this is in the shade Oob Milkshake. I don't know how you, Ube. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm excited for this though. Could have gone with a different lip liner color, but that's fine. It's a pretty pigmented gloss, so I like it. It's very thin, so that's good. The scent's not that strong. It's a little like a milkshake, like it's not really sweet, so I don't know. Maybe it's just milky. I don't know what they were talking about, to be honest. So this is the final look. All products under $10. I'm going to speed run through these really quickly, just with what I have in front of me. So this is Milky Gloss. Excited to use this. It's a more pigmented gloss, which I personally like. I like a pigmented gloss versus like a sheer gloss. So I like this. I would definitely get more shades in this product. ColourPop Lippy Pencil, they're great. I have nothing to say about this. Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume. This is the best of the Lash Princesses, so if you're going to get one, get the Curl and Volume. It has a pink tube. Definitely get that. e.l.f. putty products. The putty blush. Like this a lot. I've come around to using it. It isn't my favorite blush product ever, but it is probably my favorite drugstore blush. So, love that. The e.l.f. putty bronzer I'm going to need to use a little bit more. I think it looks fine on this side, but on this side I feel like it looks a little off. So, yeah, maybe it's just the shade. Maybe I need to get an actual like bronzer shade, but I went with the lighter one for that reason. LA Girl Pro Face looks fine. It's not something, I don't really use pressed powders like this unless they're luminous. I do use pressed powders under the eye, so it's good to find one that's not completely drying you out. The Essence Nothing Compares to Nude palette. Unpopular opinion, this is okay. I'm definitely going to use it. I'll probably use it for the shimmery shades more often than not, but it is a very light wash. So if you want something a little bit more dramatic, which I tried to do, you can't really do it because it's a nude palette, so it makes sense. Speaking of nude, the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, I really like this. I think it is worth the hype. It's only like $5, so you should go pick it up. They have blushes in that line now, which I wanted to try, but they were not available. The Revolution Pore Blur, I would say you can skip. I didn't notice it really blurring the pores too much. It did smooth out the skin a little bit, and it provided a little bit of a tint. So my tinted hydrator definitely sat more satin matte on it. Speaking of the Wet n Wild tinted hydrator, I think this product is okay. Again, I think that's an unpopular opinion because this is really popular, probably because it's so affordable. I have two other foundations which I prefer to this, and I have a tinted moisturizer which I prefer to this, which is also from the drugstore. Not under $10. It is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. I really like that. This says it's sheer medium coverage. It is lightweight, I would say that. It has hyaluronic acid in it and squalene. It doesn't look that dewy unless you have a dewy primer underneath it. So if you want a dewy finish, you're going to have to use a dewy primer, but otherwise it's going to look pretty matte. e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Love this. This has won multiple of my end of year awards. Same with the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof, although I do prefer the Rare Beauty to this, but for the drugstore, this is the best liquid liner you can find. It doesn't dry out and start bleeding like the NYX Epic Ink. Milani Eyeshadow Primer, simply the best. And this ColourPop Brow Gel, one of my favorites for a quick, easy brow. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on Monday with a new video. Bye!